Hello and welcome back to Euro Roundup. It's the show where we look at the best and worst of football from around the globe. And today, as always, I'm joined by Chris Hamill.
Well, thank you very much, pal. Yes, we have reconciled after our differences, shall we say,
Tensed a little bit.
On Football Face-Off. If you haven't seen that, it's not worth it. I got absolutely battered. Anyway, let's jump straight into our first winners, Pat. It was Les Bleus. They beat Bulgaria 4-1 at the weekend. Bulgaria lacking the stars of yesteryear, got to be said. They beat them 4-1, so it's a convincing victory with goals from Griezmann, Pique and 2 from Kevin Gameiro, who is in really, really good form at the start of this season with both club and country. Now, they actually went 1-0 down after a mazy run for the Bulgarian left winger. He's brought down by Sanya, a little bit soft, but the fullback made up for it. He actually came off later injured in the game, which is sad to see. He made up for it with a delightful cross, and Kevin Gameiro scored a gorgeous header. Probably my favourite goal of the weekend. Reminiscent of Henrik Larsson in Euro 2004. Oosh.
Oh, it's always Henrik Larsson.
But yeah, the man stitching it together,
it was Dimitri
Payet.
Yeah, they had 70% of the possession in this game, France. And actually, sometimes that's difficult because it means you're playing a team that doesn't want the ball. They just want to sit. And in that situation, you need a guy who can pick the perfect pass. And they had that in Dimitri Payet. What a fantastic player he was. And kind of made up for the poor performance of Paul Pogba, who got a 4 out of 10 from L'Équipe. If you want to hear a bit more about his horror show, then head over to Winners and Losers on Football Daily. But as you say, Gameiro, 2 goals and an assist for Griezmann. Very, very good performance. He's already been combining fantastically well at club level with Griezmann and also with PSG's Layvin Kurzawa to create the final goal.
Yeah, it was a lovely move.
Lovely build-up.
Down that left-hand side. I think it was Kurzawa, little check into Griezmann, pulled it back. Magnifique.
He's such a versatile player, Gameiro. He's fast, he's good in the air, as we saw in this game. He can dribble, he's also creative. He's such a good all-round player. He needs to make that spot his own. But France, in a tough group with the Netherlands and with Sweden, are they going to finish top? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Our first losers this week, Pato, are Argentina, a Messi-less Argentina, who drew 2-2 away with Peru, and that leaves them 5th in their qualifying group. Obviously in South America, the top 4 go through. The 5th goes to an extra qualifying round with the Oceanic teams, I believe.
Ooh, tough.
That'll be a tough draw for them. But this was an end-to-end game plan. Either team could have won. I actually thought Peru were a little bit unlucky. Captain Paulo Guerrero was giving Funes Mori a really, really hard time. Funes Mori sporting an inexplicable lid, a blonde fringe like fucking Simon out of the in-betweeners. And he actually went from hero to villain, scoring Argentina's first goal, then getting body checked off the ball for Peru's equaliser. And he actually gave away a penalty in the final minute, but that was kind of Mascherano's fault, Pat. What did you think of the game?
I thought that it was kind of all over the place. We expect better from Argentina, but this is their second away draw without Messi. Now, Bowser's side, they're not really putting it together at the moment. Argentina in recent years have been too reliant on this idea that Javier Mascherano will take care of all the defensive stuff and Messi will take care of all the attacking stuff, and they couldn't rely on that. However, Gonzalo Higuain continued his very, very good form, put away a great finish after good work by Zabaleta and Angel Di Maria, but Peru should have scored another goal just before that. Christian Ramos really should have netted. They haven't lost to Peru since 1997, but they've drawn 3 of their last 5 games against them. And when you see people at the back like Marcos Rojo, like Ramiro Funes Mori, you kind of see why they aren't getting the results that we would think an Argentina deserve.
Yeah, they're not people you associate with this level, this standing of international football. You look at the stars Argentina have had in the past, and to be frank, they're not fit to lace the boots of these guys. You look at Walter Samuel, you look at Ayala, can you think of any more?
Zanetti, Passarella, even Zabaleta of a few years ago.
Yeah, and these guys, it seems to have taken a dip in class in terms of their pool of defenders. And this leaves them 5th, as we said, level on points with 3rd and 4th, but they've got a lot to do after 9 games, Pat, to qualify.
Yeah, but we still would back them to qualify. The question is whether they can match up to those great sides of the past. They made the World Cup final last time, but if they don't improve soon, then it might be much worse for them this time round. Next up in the winners category, we have Brazil. Now all right then. And they beat Bolivia 5-0. Neymar got a goal and 2 assists in this game. It was a pretty interesting night for him, actually. He ended up getting booked for dissent, which means that he will miss their next qualifying game, which is tomorrow against Venezuela. He also went off injured after 70 minutes, after a Bolivian defender gave him a little elbow to the schnoz, leaving an enormous gash, which was very bloody.
Head, yeah, it was.
Seriously.
Ugly scenes.
Really bloody gash. And he had to go off covered in his own blood. And afterwards the defender said he's a little bit too cocky for his own good, which is undeniably true. But
still,
pretty
can't
good
go
player.
dishing out, vigilante justice duck, mate.
Yeah.
Duck off. But this is 3 wins in 3 now under coach Tite, who continues to impress. And what is most noticeable is the changes he's brought about in the squad. He's brought back Fernandinho, who was unfancied under Dunga. Dunga didn't like necessarily to play through the middle, but now Pep's pivot is back and he was running things for Brazil. We have the likes of Juliana down the right-hand side, who's brought a real balance to the midfield, enabling Coutinho to do his thing that he does best, which is roam around at number 10, pop shots off, get those through balls on the diagonal, all of the above. Also, Gabriel Jesus at number 9. It looks like the search for a competent player in that position is over. That's 3 in 3 for him under Tite. Very, very impressive stuff. And he got an assist rolling in Neymar, quite unselfishly, for a little tap-in earlier on in the game. But they remain second behind Luis Suarez's Uruguay in the qualification group. Do they have an impact? Do they have the quality to usurp the Uruguayans to finish top? What do you think? Or
Yeah,
maybe you should let us know in the comments below.
Sure. Whatever.
Our next losers are Italy. Yes, Pato, it is the Azzurri. They had a mixed bag to say the least at the weekend, scraping a sort of credible draw with Spain. I mean, Spain had 64% possession. They had twice as many shots. They had 3 times as many shots on target. And Italy needed a last-minute penalty from De Rossi to secure the draw. So a little bit strained to say the least. And then last night, they needed an injury time goal from Ciro Immobile to beat Macedonia. Pella also got sent home at the weekend. Well, this is why they're in a losers category, Pat.
Yeah, things are really bad. Against Macedonia, they actually went up early on, then they gave away 2 goals. They had to come back from 2-1 down. Immobile managed to level it up in the 75th minute, and then, like you say, the 91st minute managed to get the winner. Now, Pella was sent home because he refused to shake Ventura. He's the boss. He's the boss. He refused to shake his hand when he was subbed off. Mate, you play in China, just chill out a little bit.
You're not above being bought off against Spain.
Yeah, you're not very good.
At all.
And when you see the form of Immobile, it's not that surprising. Immobile scored 2 goals in this game. He got them a vital win, and to a certain extent, it doesn't matter how you qualify for the World Cup, so long as you do it. But with this level of kind of disunity, lack of coherence in the camp, it's not terribly surprising that they're putting in bad performances. These can't go on forever. Ventura, you need to sort it out. Next up in the winners category, it's finally some good news for the Netherlands. Hey! Oh, happy days are here again for the Dutch. They beat Belarus 4-1 after a draw with Sweden. 2 games without losing, mate. Unbelievable scene.
Killing
this,
it.
This is actually their first win since a friendly against Austria back in June. Do you know what they followed that up with? A loss to Greece. Quality.
Scenes.
Yeah, but in this game, they were very dominant in terms of possession, which we know they always did. They did that even when they were losing. Frankly, they were 2-0 up early on, and they should have been pegged back to 2-1 if Belarus's captain Martinovic had been able to net. Quincy Promes scored a great goal, though. It actually went through 3 sets of legs, the rare triple nutmeg, after some great work by Vincent Janssen down the right.
I mean, Dutch fan over here says great goal. Neutral over here says very fortunate to go through 3 pairs of legs. A little bit of a scuff as well, but he does look promising. The Spartak Moscow winger looks like a good addition to that squad. Now, Holland had 27 shots to Belarus's 7.
Oh yeah.
But after watching the extended highlights, those quality of chances, there was a few gilt-edged, as you mentioned, for Belarus. And the Holland defence actually looked a little bit ragged. I'm a massive Van Dijk fan. I think he's a great all-round player, good with the ball. Obviously an absolute physical specimen. But I wasn't sure whether it was him or Bruma or Karsdorp, who I don't know much about, who was to blame for this sort of ragged display. But they looked all over the place at times, epitomised by when Bruma was actually rolled far too easily by the Belarus captain for the goal that brought it back to 2-1. The goal of the game was Vincent Janssen, the Spurs man who can't buy a goal at club level, picked it up 20 yards into the opposition half, ran with it and belted a left foot shot into the top bins. It was not as good as Gamera's header for me, because it was just a little bit of a thwack, but one of the better goals of the weekend, Pat.
Yeah, and interestingly as well in this game, Wesley Sneijder came off at half-time, so it perhaps suggests a little changing of the guard here for the Netherlands too. He came off for Davy Prupper. Maybe the Dutch are starting to regenerate after a long fallow period. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Can they make it to another World Cup final? The correct answer is yes. Don't reply if your answer is no.
Our last loser today is Gerard Piqué. Yes, he cut his sleeves at the weekend, and many fans, i.e. the Madrista section of the Spain fans, saw this as a sign of disrespect because it had the same colours as the national flag on the trimming of said sleeve. Also the same colour as the Catalonia flag. So, is there an argument to be had there, Pat? Is he being an aggressor? Is he trying to poke the bear yet again, as we know he likes doing? Or is this a case of just Spain fans looking to cause shit where no shit is there to be had?
Well, he himself claims that the long sleeves were annoying him, which I can understand, and we've certainly seen players do things like this before. Matteo Flomini did it for Arsenal.
I think Ramos did it as well, actually.
Yeah, I think he did too.
In the same game.
But obviously, he is in the heart of most Spanish fans, and Piqué has always had a bit of a fractious relationship with the country as a whole, thanks to his support for an independent Catalonia. Anyway, Piqué has now announced that he's going to retire from international duty after the 2018 World Cup. It's not that big a deal really, because he'll be 31 by that point, and he's won everything there is to win with the national team. He said he wants to make it to 100 caps and then ride off into the sunset with Shakira. So, good on you, Piqué, but you're
glorious.
a loser this week.
Loser on this week's show, but never a loser in life. Gerard Piqué. What a guy. So that was this week's Euro Roundup. Thank you for sticking with us, guys. We know the international break is not exactly the most scintillating topic. Pato, what should they do next?
They should check out our video on the top 10 players who peaked too soon. It's a good one.
Yeah, and if you like this channel and that video, then why not like and subscribe, eh?
Yeah.
Click it.
Catch you next time.
Woo-woo.